Welcome to The Explainer. Our goal to break down really complex topics into insights you can actually use.
Okay, let's start with a pretty wild statistic from our source. Get this, a staggering 99% of traders lose money. I mean, that's almost everyone, which, of course, leads to the big question.
So, what are the other 1% doing that's so different? Well, it's not some secret handshake or a magic formula. It's actually a totally different way of looking at the market. And in this explainer, we're going to break down those core ideas that really separate the winners from, well, everyone else.
So here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with a hard truth, then get into the two ways you can trade. After that, we'll learn how to read the market's language, find where the big fights happen, gauge real market strength, and we'll wrap it all up with what is, without a doubt, the most important rule of the game. All right, first up, the trader's hard truth. So why do so many people fail? That 99% number, it's not just because trading is hard. I mean, it is. But the real problem is that the whole learning space is just flooded with bad information. Think about it, right? There's no one looking over your shoulder to stop you from making a really bad move. And for every person teaching the right stuff, there are like 10 others teaching junk. So what happens is the 99% are all learning from the same free textbook info, which means they're all using the exact same broken strategies. Okay, so let's move on to the first big concept the 1% really gets. And it's this. You can actually make money whether the market is going up or down. You're not just stuck betting on one direction. See, an investor is pretty much stuck with one move. Buy low, sell high. Simple enough. But a trader has another play in their book. They can also sell high, buy low. They can actually profit when the price goes down. And let me tell you, that is a total game changer. So, how does that even work?
It's a concept called short selling, and this iPhone analogy makes it super clear. Imagine you borrow your friend's brand new iPhone. You promise you'll give it back in a year. Step 2, you immediately go and sell that phone for today's price. Let's say it's 100,000 rupees. Now you wait. A year goes by, a new model is out, and the price of that phone has dropped to 80,000. So you go buy a new one for 80 grand, give it back to your friend just like you promised, and you pocket the 20,000 rupee difference. Boom. You just made money because the price of the iPhone went down. Okay, now that we know we can trade in both directions, let's get into how to actually read what the market is telling us. And this is so important. Successful trading is not about memorizing a bunch of patterns from a book. It's about learning to read the story that's unfolding one candlestick at a time. I love this quote. If people became traders just by memorizing patterns, everyone would be a trader. It just nails it, right? The source points out that this is one of the biggest traps out there. Everyone's looking at the same textbook patterns, and that's exactly why the 99% keep losing. The real secret isn't the pattern itself, it's what's happening inside of it. So, you gotta look beyond just green means up and red means down. Each candlestick is telling a story about a battle between buyers and sellers. We call this the imbalance of power. Those thin lines sticking out, the wicks, they show you where the price tried to go during that battle. And the thick part, the body, that tells you who actually won. And this is a perfect example of why this is so critical. Look at this. The candle is green, right? So you think, oh, buyers are in control. But look at that super long wick sticking out the top. That tells us that buyers pushed the price way, way up, but then the sellers came in and were so powerful they slammed it all the way back down. Even though the candle is green, the sellers actually won that fight. The candle's color lied, but that imbalance of power tells you the real story. So every candle is a little battle, but all those little battles add up to a much bigger war. And this is where the 1% see things differently. They don't just see a bunch of random squiggly lines. They see battlegrounds, key levels on the chart where huge fights between buyers and sellers have happened before.
Have you ever wondered why the price will sometimes just stop and reverse at the exact same level it did before? I mean, to the penny. It's not a coincidence. It's not magic. It's basically an echo, a footprint left behind by one of the big players.
Here's how it works. Let's say a huge bank wants to buy 100 kilos of gold. Their order is just so massive, they can't buy it all at once without sending the price to the moon. So maybe they only get 50 kilos filled before the price shoots up. Well, what about the other 50 kilos? That order is still sitting there, waiting to be filled at that original lower price. So when the price eventually comes back down to that level, bam, the rest of their order gets triggered, and that massive buy pressure pushes the price right back up again. And that, my friends, is what support and resistance levels really are. They're just the leftover orders from the big guys.
Okay, so once you start seeing these battlegrounds, a whole new part of the game opens up. Because now you can start to see how the big players actually use these areas to their advantage. It's something called a liquidity hunt. So let's talk about liquidity. For most of us, a stop loss is just a safety net, right? It's there to protect us. But for a giant institution, a stop loss is something else entirely. It's fuel. It's a big pool of orders just sitting there, waiting to be triggered. Just think about it for a second. If everyone is reading the same trading books, where do you think they're all putting their protective stop-loss orders? Yeah, exactly. In the same obvious place, like right below a very clear support level. This basically creates a giant flashing bullseye for anyone who needs to fill a massive order. And this is the hunt. A big player will intentionally push the price down just enough to break that support level. And what happens? All of those thousands of stop losses get triggered at once. It creates this huge flood of sell orders, which is the exact liquidity that big player needs to fill their own gigantic buy order at a fantastic price. They literally use the 99% losses as the fuel for their own winning trades. All right, we're at our last section. And look, you can master everything we've talked about, reading the imbalance of power, finding the battlegrounds, spotting these liquidity hunts, but if you don't get this final piece right, you're still probably going to fail. Because it turns out the most important skill in trading isn't technical analysis, it's survival. It's not about knowing the perfect place to get into a trade, it's about knowing exactly where you're going to get out when you're wrong. This is such a powerful mindset shift. Your stop loss is not a sign of failure. It is the price you pay for information. That's it. It's a small, planned business expense that tells you your initial idea was wrong. By taking that small, controlled loss, you're buying the information you need to protect yourself from a huge, devastating one. It's absolutely essential to any winning strategy. Because really, at the end of the day, learning to read a chart is just step one. The final, and much harder, step is learning to manage yourself. You can have all the chart skills in the world, but if you can't control your risk, none of it matters. So that leaves us with a final thought. You've now seen how the 1% reads the market. But the real question is, do you know how they manage risk to survive it? Because reading the charts gets you into the game, sure, but it's risk management, the art of pure survival, that actually